Okay, so you've got one.
So I'm gonna go to the roof and see if I can drop hatch here safely.
Okay. You've got a maestro on the wall. There's someone on a cam right now. If you're in VIP, you could probably shoot him through the open door. Tell me when you want me to mark.
Go ahead.
There. He should still be sitting there.
He's hurt.
That was so annoying when you did that.
I have another drone.
Talking about the HE.
Or just shooting you in freezer, you mean?
Ah, dang it. Okay, so Doc's in sight.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna drone him down. There's the hatch. Bathroom's clear. You can walk in service. There's a maestro on ping right there. If you go fast, you might could kill him.
Got him. Good call. Doc is also inside in the corner. I
That was
think.
a major
Yeah, he's
kill
hard
by
right.
Clay right there.
I'm nading him.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop courtyard.
He pushed me. Oh, he pushed me. I kept hitting the freaking bars on the stupid window.
15 seconds. Secure the room. Protect the bio container. 10 seconds.
Well done.
Op 4 eliminated.
Well done.
Friendly mission success.
Right on. Okay, cool. Round over for me.
Selected for the awful gunplay at the end, obviously.
Yeah, I like that grenade to force him out of that corner into Clay's line of fire. The only thing is Clay, I think, just lost the gunfight. That was it.
It was. I kept
The
hitting the stupid
bars.
metal bars. Yeah.
Ah, that's what it was. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember watching because I was spectating that, and I think I remember him pushing you. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but straight up.
Strength by hitting the bars, and he just got a lucky headshot through him.
Yeah, so I've muted the VOD now. So what I want to talk about first is the initial droning. So once I get up to the building here, and we can ignore me forgetting where the silly cam is.
Dude, I don't know where half the default cams are. I'm kidding, but like. I forget where
So
they are all the time.
so on main door, if you crouch by that little planter and shoot out the top left corner, the camera will be right in front of you. So you can shoot it safely that way.
Got you.
So we know their kitchen, and the plan is to get control above and VIP and do vertical play, because VIP is directly above kitchen. So the plan is I send my teammate, Clay in this case, to service door, and he's going to drone, and I'm going to go above. So I'm droning myself in right now. So I drone down this drone hole here, and I'm going to drone the room I'm going to drop into, which is penthouse. And I'm not going to drone theater. Now that's an obvious risk. I'm not going to drone it because I'm fighting against time here since I'm droning myself in. So I'm going to drone the place I'm going to and then leave a flank drone and just go. So it's a calculated risk to drop and assume that there's nobody playing in theater right now. Our comms are a little off here because one, I didn't answer Clay back when he said that he could mark a guy kitchen for me. And then two, I said I was going VIP, and the guy who was going to mark was in freezer. So
Yeah, that was a result of me not realizing that freezer is below penthouse and not VIP.
yeah, which is why we did the map overview actually and talked about the vertical play. And then
That
to
was
be
just that ping.
Right. And to be fair, when I get there, I don't know that the wall cuts that little section of the floor in half either. So I'm just kind of bucking in the middle, and I don't actually open the side on the right, which if I had, I probably would have just shot him. As it is, the debris is kind of all over the place, and so I spray once and drop a nade for good measure and run away.
You're talking about if you had bucked more to the right towards the bed here?
Exactly. So like
Okay,
you see
yeah.
when I shift right,
Right.
and I
Okay, yeah,
see
there
the
it
hole
is. I
now.
see that wall now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if I'd been aware of that ahead of time, I would have just bucked the right side, and I would have seen him instantly. As it was, he had time to get away here. So then I'm going to do some more droning. I know where my weakest point is, theater, so I keep checking that, you can see.
Right.
And then I'm going to go somewhere where I think I can't be seen. I'm going to check my flank cam again, and then I start droning first floor again. So what I was talking about earlier, Josh, with the barricades,
Right.
once I drone and see that all that's barricaded, I don't have to worry about that flank anymore, right? Because they're going to have
Hold
to
on,
make it.
Okay, so you're talking about the freezer wall being reinforced?
No. So toilets is barricaded here.
Mm.
So that door's
Oh, okay,
barricaded.
yeah, I see what you're talking about. I see what you're talking about, yeah.
That door's barricaded and the freezer door's barricaded.
Uh-huh.
So once I see that surface is clear, Clay has no flank. Does that make sense?
Okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying now. Yeah, because
Mhm.
then he has to make a sound cue at the very minimum to actually do anything.
Right. So that actually gives a lot of freedom to us as far as movement goes, because Clay
Right.
only has to worry about kitchen door now. At this point.
Okay.
So at this point, I tell him you're free to go in freezer, or service rather, and then I see the maestro right before this point, and I start to call it out as I mark him because I know that Clay can take the long diagonal shot on him because he's in the open.
Right. Yeah, because he's sitting there looking at sunrise almost, or blue stairs, however you want to call it.
So he gets that fight, and then while he's doing that, I'm thinking about how we're gonna push this next guy. Last called in kitchen. So I go to drone again because my teammate's close to the kitchen door. And so now I'm going to try to force him out while my teammate's holding kitchen door.
Right.
And then as soon as I do that, I'm going to rotate to another position. And my thought here is I'm going to drop courtyard, and then I can either buck open the kitchen wall, or I can go to the kitchen door on pink side, and we can pinch that way. Orca pushes the gunfight and wins. And then I just crouch walk into sight like a noob.
Completely ignoring barbed wire. Rest in peace.
You see, I tried to throw a nade there.
Right. To get him out of the corner.
Right, because the only place he could be in kitchen that I wouldn't see him, based on where the gunfight was back towards that corner where I tried to do the vertical play.
Which, in all fairness, they also barricaded that wall on the right over there, so you wouldn't have been able to open up that wall.
They reinforced part of it, but that's 4 walls, and they reinforced elsewhere. So, anyway, about that point, when I realized I was out of nades, I also realized that I was securing, which tells me what?
That he's not on the objective.
Exactly, he's not on site. So because of those barricades and everything, there's literally only one place he can be, and he has to push back through that door.
Which is towards service door, or
exactly, kitchen door towards freezer.
Yeah, freezer. Excuse me.
Yeah, so all I have to do here is just play a patient gunfight, and eventually I somehow win, even though I'm missing a lot.
Which I was about to say, in all fairness, he actually had the angle on you. He probably should have headshot you there. Straight up won that gunfight, but
yeah, I was deliberately not peeking very long, so unless he got the headshot.
Yeah, exactly. Unless he saw you instantly and just happened to hit a flick shot there.
But it's a 50-50 gunfight at that point, at least.
Absolutely.
And in a sense, I've got the high ground because I'm on site and he's having to retake now.
That is very true. And he has to push through a choke point at the very best.
Yeah.
So.
He might have made it running all the way around, but unlikely.
You would have heard him definitely for sure.
Yeah. So let me see if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. So I mentioned complementary angles when pushing. So when I'm doing vertical stuff, there needs to be some horizontal pressure when he gets flushed out. When we're pushing, we're trying to push from supporting angles where we can establish good crossfires and whatnot while watching our flanks. Taking turns droning and pushing and using the info quickly. So, like, for instance, when I was droning Freezer and I had him push in, he's pushing in directly behind the drone. So if I get that info on, hey, Maestro's exposed, then he can take a step to the right and act on the info immediately.
Right.
So even in that situation, even if we'd lost the drone, we still would have gotten that value.
That's true.
I think that's everything I wanted to mention about that round. Any other comments?
I think you covered everything.
I think so. Pretty well. Yeah.
Our comms were a little sloppy, but other than that, the round worked out pretty well for us. It was a little easier because they were playing a heavy anchor strat.
Yeah.
So the way we were pushing it kind of played to our advantage.
Right. That was very true.
But I felt like we did a pretty good job covering our flanks also. So I don't know.
Yeah.